One of the things I love about having sewing skills is that you can just fix all these little things around your house. Um, at the moment, I'm in the middle of a bigger project. I'm working on an art quilt, so there's scraps all over the place. But I've just decided to take some time out and fix something that started bothering me. So this here is a knockoff, sorry Mr. Miyazaki, Totoro rug that I got from Wish. I think it's actually probably stolen fan art, but yes, the less we talk about that, the better. I put it through the washing machine, and what has happened is the foam inside has all broken up and started falling apart. Obviously wasn't machine washable. You can see it better here. So the foam was all in one thin layer to make it plush, and now it's all clumped up at the edges. It's shedding like crazy. There's a whole galaxy of foam flakes on my desk now. So today I'm just gonna take some time and fix this. I don't think it's going to take more than an hour tops. I'm going to start by just unpicking all of this binding that goes around the edge. Then I'll peel off this backing, which is really good. It's got grip on it, so it doesn't slip on a hard floor. It's got like a rubberized grip. Remove and safely dispose of this horrible plastic foam. Replace with something else squishy that I have, and then just reattach the binding. Luckily, these are quite big stitches. They're almost like basting stitches. So they're quite easy to just unpick. So I don't think this is going to take me very long at all. Okay, so the stitches are unpicked and I can start peeling off the binding now. But what I'm noticing is that the grip back, which I want to reuse, has sort of been heat bonded onto the foam. So, oh, I can pull it off. Okay, that's fine. That's fine then, because I want to reuse that and I don't want to reuse the foam. But you see what I mean? It's all like falling apart. This is all like microplastic crap. Not so good. Don't buy cheap, horrible homewares off Wish. I was weak. I wanted something with Totoro on. Peeling apart the layers of the rug sandwich and trying not to breathe in microscopic foam particles. It kind of reminds me of shearing a sheep. You're just pulling this fleece off, only instead of beautiful, natural, biodegradable wool, it is horrendous, possibly super toxic foam. God, it's everywhere. Wow. Well, I think this is as clear as I'm going to get it. There's still a few little tiny chunks of foam hanging on, but it's pretty clear. So on to the next stage, which is getting my padding and cutting it to size. This is the padding I've got. I think it's actually made for like backpack padding. I got it on sale ages ago from a fabric shop. It was one of these things I bought because I thought, you know, it'll come in handy one day. It's got all these like cells, 2 different layers, so it's quite nice and squishy. I'm gonna mark and cut a piece just a little bit smaller, like maybe like 1 to 2 centimeters smaller than it needs to be. Then just layer up the sandwich again, so padding, got the backing, just get that pin in place, then flip it over. I'm going to round out these corners just a little bit, just so it's a bit easier on the corner when I'm doing the binding. And then just plop the top layer of the rug sandwich on top. The binding, because I haven't pressed it or anything, has kept its curves, so I'm just going to follow these. I remember where it was before. It started in the middle of this side here, and I'm just going to pin that on too and then start sewing that in place. This is a good time to point out that I hate binding stuff, and this project relies entirely on binding stuff. I tried machining it and it was just being a little bitch. Like the rubber kept gripping onto the machine and I wanted to do it that way up. So I was making sure that the top edge is like good looking. So I've decided that, you know what, it's not that long of a seam. And if I do it by hand, I can just keep it nice and controlled. So I'm just going to do it by hand. Yeah. So what should have been a very quick project has, through foam going everywhere and machine issues, turned into a slightly longer project. But that's always the way when you want to make a quick fix, isn't it? On the home stretch now, just this last little bit to do. Hopefully it's not going to run out. Well, I've got to the end and I got a weird white patch because this bit was overlapping when it was done in the factory and it's not overlapping now. I don't know how I've somehow managed to shrink the binding by like 5 centimeters, but hey ho. I'm just going to sew the ends of the binding together now just to neaten that up. And we are done! The mat's all back in one piece. It's not perfect, apart from this weird bit where it was supposed to overlap and didn't, where I've got a white bit. There's a couple of white spots at the edges too. I guess the fabric was all originally white and then at the factory they spray dyed it to give it this kind of nostalgic cream tint. Another problem, as you can see here, is that I didn't quite line up the binding with the top of Totoro's ears. So I've got these weird little blue dots. But I'm really happy with it. It's got a lot more structure now than it did before with the really thin foam. Previous foam was maybe like 2-3 mil thick. This is more like 6 or 7 mil thick, so it's nice and plush. Let's put it in its final place. As I said before, I got this rug initially from Wish. I think it was about £3 or £4, including shipping. So it's not about cost. This isn't about saving money. I could go and get another rug. To me, it's about respecting the objects that come into your house and giving them as full a life as possible. That's quite punk. Repairing stuff is punk. Remember that. I'll see you next time. Bye!